Yo, shout out to everybody here in the building. I appreciate every single one of you. I see Blazing, J-Dog, Raiders, C-Dub, Ryan Lewis, Tone, Dominique is in the building. Shout out to my boy Ant-Man. Everybody here rocking with me. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raider. Salute to everybody here. You guys can be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me today, man. We have a lot to unpack today. The NFL is going crazy right now. We have re-signed one of our own to a one-year deal. A lot to talk about, man. Make sure everybody in the building wipes them feet, meaning hit that thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button. Shout out to one of my favorite sponsors in the world, Woodson Whiskey. You see what we're doing today, man. WoodsonWhiskey.com for those who don't know. I see my boy Blazing Raider. I am Punchy. Arkham's in the building. King Gibby. What is good, King? Shout out to everybody here. Let me see, man. I'm going to let everybody pull in real quick before we get to chopping this fable. Oh, let me see. Big Mike's in the building. PlanetRaiders.com. Shout out to my boy Big Mike, man. We are going to talk about Lamar Jackson. We're going to talk about the Rams today, you guys. They are hitting a total reset button at this point. They are getting rid of who are they getting rid of? There's a slew of players that they're getting rid of. Leonard Floyd, Allen Robinson, Matthew Stafford, you guys. They are trying to move on from the Super Bowl winning quarterback. He is 35 years old. Rumors are swirling that it would only cost, I believe, a third-round pick. He is 35. I think his deal was only worth about $20 million this year. I think there's also an out in his contract in 2025. So that's definitely a name to keep an eye on, a veteran guy that can come in and get it done. Jalen Ramsey, we already know. We've heard all the rumors about them trying to move on from that contract. So I have to say this, you guys. Do not be shocked if the Rams just get rid of every superstar, including Aaron Donald. I don't know why Aaron Donald would want to sit over there if they're trying to get rid of Stafford, Floyd, Ramsey. I mean, every single star, Allen Robinson on that roster. I have no reason to believe that Aaron Donald will want to sit out there in LA and be a part of a complete rebuild. That is a sneaky name to keep an eye on, man. I know he's, over 30. He's still the best defensive tackle in the NFL. That is a guy that I'm keeping an eye on. For those who don't know as well, we have re-signed Amir Abdullah to a year deal. I am hoping that at this point, that means that we cut Brandon Bolden. I think it's time to move on from him. We still have Britton Brown, Sincere McCormick, Zeus. We just put the franchise tag on Josh. A lot of running backs. We have a deep running back room on this roster. I am hoping and praying that Josh McDaniels grows the nuts and gets rid of Brandon Bolden, his former Patriot that he brought over to Vegas. It just didn't work out. It did not work out. It didn't work out. You know what I mean? So it's time to move on from that. Vegas Raiders, we wouldn't be able to afford all those guys. I think you're looking at maybe one. I think at this point we have about $39 million. That was after the franchise tag, the $10 million to Josh Jacobs. We are going to do a lot of restructuring, you guys. Chandler Jones, potentially Max Crosby, Colton Miller. We're going to free up a lot more cap space here shortly. But it's crazy. As crazy as this is, you guys, I'm not trying to give Zeig and Josh McDaniels any more credit than we think that they deserve, because let's just be honest, we had a terrible year last year at 6-11. But this would be the perfect year if you needed a quarterback one. This is the year that you move on from Derek Carr. I mean, look at all of the guys potentially out there. It looks as though Aaron Rodgers will be signing with the Jets. It looks like they're getting closer and closer to bringing him in. I believe the Packers stated that they want a first-round draft pick and potentially another draft pick if Aaron Rodgers plays 2 years within that organization. I believe that's how it goes. But it sounds as though Aaron Rodgers may be a Jet. But I mean, look at, man, you got the Jimmy G's of the world. I know people do not like Jimmy G, and I have to say this. I just tweeted this out. Derek Carr is a better quarterback than Jimmy G. But the thing is this, Jimmy G is a better quarterback than Derek Carr in this particular system. I know he has not played in this system for many years now, but he started his career under Josh McDaniels in New England. So to me, he's the better quarterback in this system. If he's durable enough to get through a season, which is a long stretch, I don't believe it can happen. I'm not against that. But this is the perfect year if you need a QB1. The perfect year, man. Potentially Matthew Stafford now. Aaron Rodgers, we don't know. Like, it looks like the Jets, but we don't know yet. He may shift gears and decide retirement, or he may say, let me talk to the Raiders real quick. Who's to say? But then you look at this draft. CJ Stroud, which would be the perfect fit to me with this team. The Levises of the world, the Bryce Youngs. This is a year, AR-15, where if you need a QB1, there's plenty. There's plenty. So I want to say this, man. It sucks that we have to kind of, hit the reset button at the quarterback position, but I do have to give this regime a little bit of wiggle room and a little bit, give them a small, just one flower, not a bouquet of flowers, but a flower for realizing that this is probably the year where you can shift over and get a new QB1 without having to really, really, really totally just rebuild around this roster. Shout out to everybody here in the building. Lamar Jackson, you guys, we're going to talk about it. It's going to cost potentially 2 first-round picks. I mean, that's what it looks like. I think realistically, you guys, the Baltimore Ravens are going to match any offer that is put out there, regardless of anything. It doesn't matter what team. 2 firsts to me is not enough for Lamar Jackson. I think Baltimore would expect more. You know what I mean? But that's what they put out. That's the tag that they put on him. I think that they match any offer. I think that Lamar Jackson wants to go out here and, I think Baltimore's allowing him to dictate his own, who wants him, who would pay him what, and so on and so forth. But there is a huge non-benefit to going out and getting Lamar Jackson outside of not being durable. He is 26, I believe, former MVP, top 7 quarterback in this league. Would love to have Lamar Jackson. But if the Raiders make an offer, the value is charged to the cap immediately. So Wednesday, I believe, of next week, when free agency opens, the Ravens have 5 days to reply to that. So by then, you're already in the middle of free agency with all that money tied up on a player that you do not know you will maybe get or not. So in a sense, if we decide on going out there and saying we'll give up the 2 first, 1 this year and 1 next year for Lamar Jackson and pay that huge guaranteed contract that he wants and so on and so forth, you are pretty much handcuffing yourself free agency wise. I think Baltimore is kicking back, just waiting for any team to make an offer to Lamar Jackson, preferably an AFC team, so they can strap him up in free agency and just basically match it up. I don't see this happening at all, you guys. Would be so dope to see Lamar Jackson in the silver and black with him and Josh, Devontae, Waller, and Renfro. It'd be a phenomenal offense, probably one of the most dynamic offenses we've ever seen in the NFL. But I think we have to kind of kick back on that, you guys. 2 first-round picks for Lamar Jackson, and then $50 million a season, or even north of that, or giving up 2 first-round picks, potentially 7 this year, and then a first next year to move up and get a Stroud or an AR-15. I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm giving up the 2 firsts to move up to get a quarterback instead of going out and get Lamar Jackson. Too expensive for my blood, and there's just too many different dynamics to this situation where you can handcuff yourself when free agency starts next week. Shout out to Max, man. Potentially the next highest paid quarterback in the league with Lamar Jackson. Just for him to blow out his knee in week 10, no thanks. Respectfully, go kick rocks. Shout out to Max, and I'm hoping and praying that doesn't happen to Lamar Jackson. He's a dynamic quarterback. I hope he is healthy for the foreseeable future, but I agree. It's too much for my blood. Shout out to Big Mike. Plus, the man has missed 10 out of the last 22 games. I'm not giving the keys to a guy who cannot stay on the field. Shout out to Tone. A lot of people are now stating, you guys, that Anthony Richardson will be drafted number 1. There is belief in the NFL that there's going to be a deal made with Chicago Bears to grab that number 1 draft pick to jump over Houston. And the belief is that someone's going to take a flyer on Anthony Richardson at 1. I don't think that he falls to us in any world at 7. You know what I mean? We'd have to trade up to go get him. But I think that he will be a top 3 guy because of the measurables and because of the combine that he had. I think that we will not be in the, in the makings to go get an Anthony Richardson. I think that maybe him and Bryce Young are the first 2 guys off the board. And hopefully I'm praying that leaves us with CJ Stroud. Now, what that would take for us to trade up to 3 with Arizona, I don't know. Maybe you can trade up to 5 and pray that one of those guys is there. I think Levis will probably still be there on the board. But if you want Stroud, I think you have to trade up to number 3. Point blank, period, the end. If you move up to 3, you get one of those guys. You get Anthony Richardson or you get Stroud. I'm cool with that. But I do believe that Stroud is the most NFL-ready guy, especially in this system. The accuracy, he can make every throw. Great pocket passer, can also use his legs. I think Stroud is the perfect pick for this regime going forward, for this team moving forward. Shout out to everybody here in the building. Shout out to Primos. Go get CJ Stroud, who will be on a rookie contract instead of paying big money on these QBs. I agree, Primos. I definitely do. But I do think that we will still get a veteran. And, the rumors have kind of died down about the talks with us talking to Stidham in his camp. But free agency is opening up next week. So I think those talks will start, speeding up again. Do not be shocked, you guys, if we just bring back Stiddy and go draft a quarterback. Shout out to my boy Primos, man. Let me see. Austin, there's rumors that it's the Texans, it's us, and it is the Carolina Panthers, I believe, the 3 teams that I've seen that has so-called interest in bringing in Jimmy G for his services. But at the end of the day, if the Texans do get Jimmy G, they are still going to draft a quarterback, Austin. I don't believe that this new regime is sold on Davis Wells. I think that they're going to still get Bryce Young at number 2. So it'd be smart for them, the Texans, to go pay Jimmy G, give him an astronomical amount of money for a year, go draft Bryce Young at 2, and boom. If Jimmy G agrees to a 1-year deal, I don't know if there's a team out there that offers him a 3-4 year deal. We've seen crazier shit happen with his durability issues. I wouldn't be a team that would even think about giving him more than a year offer. At this point, give him a nice 1-year contract with heavy incentives, and run with it. But I think the Texans will take a look at Jimmy G. Their new head coach is very, very familiar with Jimmy G with their days and as coaching with the Niners. So it makes sense. But Austin, the Texans will still be looking at drafting a quarterback for their future. Let me see. T-Wave, that's a good question, bro. That is a good question, and that's something that we need to figure out. For the 3rd pick, you're giving up the 7 this year, so you're giving up your 1st round pick. Would you give up a future 1st and a 3rd? I would do that. I would definitely do that. If I can give 7 and our 3rd this year and a 1st next year, I would do that to move up 4 spots to go get CJ Stroud. Who wouldn't do that? 2 firsts and a 3rd? I would do that. If Stroud is there on the board at 3, I would call the Arizona Cardinals immediately and say, we got 7 for you this year, a 1st next year, and a 3rd this season. I would do that. Now, I don't know if Arizona pulls the trigger on that. They need a lot of help over there. They're looks like they're moving on from D-Hop. They need some new O-line help. It looks like Rodney Hudson is probably going to retire, so they're going to need a center. They're going to need as much draft capital as possible. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Iron Punchy says, Mitch says number 7, 2nd round and a 5th. I don't know if that gets it done. Me personally, look, to get a future quarterback, a guy that could be a potential superstar for you moving forward, I'm not even going to call them with a 2nd and a 5th. I'm just going to say, look, we got our 1st this year, a 1st next year, and a 3rd this year. Take it or leave it. Simple and plain. Because then all you lose this season is a 3rd round pick, and you still got a bunch of other draft capital to build that defense. Shout out to Big Mike. 2 firsts in this year's 5th. I'm cool with that too. Low ball him at first. I mean, in which we will before we give up that 3rd. I agree. I just don't want to play with it. If we can move up to the 3rd spot in order to go get CJ Stroud, make it happen. Make it happen. If Stroud is there on the board at 3, you guys, you have to go all in on getting him. And I think that this regime knows that. I do. It's Richardson and Stroud for me. Primos, I'm not mad at that. But I do believe someone's going to take a flyer on Anthony Richardson because of that insane athleticism. He may be gone in the first 2 picks. Primos, the only way I take Levis, right? Levis, tomatoes. The only way I take him is if he's still available at 7. That's it. If he's there at 7 and this regime believes that they can unlock that potential, I'm cool with that. You don't trade up to get Levis. You know what I mean? But if he's there at 7, I'm definitely taking a flyer on Levis. But the thing is this, I do believe the Colts are still going to look at him. Are the Colts at 5, you guys? Maybe Levis doesn't even leave the top 5. He may be gone. Is it the 5 or is it 6? Where's Indy at? Seattle is 4. I think Indy's at 5, right? 5 or 6. So you have to still look at Indianapolis at that point. I think that Levis, Colts are at 4. There you go. Boom. That's still a very, very good landing spot for Will Levis. So this is going to get interesting, you guys, these next 4 weeks. The draft is officially, I believe, 49 days away. So at this point, it's going to get very, very interesting. Very interesting. But I do believe, you guys, we're going to have to trade up in order to lock down one of these quarterbacks. We're going to have to. We're going to have to. And I'm not against it at this point. Go get a veteran guy in free agency. Don't overpay for him and trade up to go get a guy like a Stroud or an AR-15 at 3. Blacks Mob, I always said that too. I know that they brought Geno Smith back. I believe it was like a 3-year deal, but I think technically that deal was I think Pete Carroll and those guys made that deal kind of like the Derek Carr deal where they can get out of it next year. So I would not be shocked at all if Seattle took a QB at 5, but knowing Pete Carroll, those guys love defense. I would not be shocked if Will Anderson or Jalen Carter are off to Seattle at 5. Those guys love drafting defense. They love it. So I would not be shocked. Yeah, nah. It's just too much money. The durability issues, the draft capital, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Like I said before, he would be a dog. And could you imagine Josh Jacobs and Lamar Jackson both in shotgun formation, just looking at that offense with all those weapons on the outside? That would be insane. But it's just too expensive for my blood. I can't do it, brother. I can't. It's just way too expensive. And I think Baltimore is kind of playing mind games at this point, trying to see, what will offer. They don't want to basically bid against themselves. Baltimore is saying, hey, 2 first-round picks, cool. But they're not going to bid against themselves. That's what Baltimore is doing. They're going to let someone else go out and dictate, where he is in the market, and they're going to come right back and match that anyways. So I do believe that Lamar Jackson will be right back in Baltimore on a 3-4 year deal or whatever it is, 5-year deal. They're just trying to make sure that they do not outbid themselves in free agency. And it makes all the sense in the world. So I don't really think that we should even be speaking about Lamar Jackson anymore. Maybe we have a call with him. Maybe we do take a call. Maybe we bring him in and even meet with him. I don't know. But the thing is this, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm going to read this tweet once again. If the Raiders make an offer, the value is charged to the cap immediately. Then the Ravens have 5 days to reply, which they will not reply immediately. So that by that time, you're in the middle of free agency with all your money tied up to a player that you don't even know you're going to get. It's just too many different factors that just doesn't sit well with me in terms of trying to go out and get Lamar Jackson. Shout out to Max. I would trade with Seattle at 5. They just re-signed Geno. Don't think they're still in the hunt. Do not be shocked, Max. Do not be shocked, my brother, if they still take a QB in this draft. Do not be shocked. Shout out to my dog, Max, man. Yeah, Ed, this is fact. Lamar on the Raiders will be so live in Madden. Facts. Facts plus tags. Yeah. L. Jack can run our offense, though. Facts. And you know what's crazy? Snow, Josh McDaniels is a guy that would probably extend Lamar Jackson's career. And what I mean by that is Harbaugh and these guys have just ran Lamar Jackson down to the ground by the age 20. He's 26 right now, right? There's a reason why he's having so many, injuries. Josh McDaniels would find a way to have him more with the pocket presence, keep him in the pocket as much as possible, but still extend plays with his legs. We wouldn't have to depend on Lamar Jackson running the ball every damn play. Lamar has never had the weapons that we have on the outside. So I think Josh McDaniels will work wonders for Lamar Jackson. And I think Lamar will work wonders for this offense because Josh would extend that man's career. Definitely would. Definitely would. But I just don't think it makes any sense. Shout out to my boy Maul, man. Arizona, this is Dave Ziegler. Can we talk ASAP? Factory, bro. Factory. I'm definitely calling Arizona. I'm calling Seattle. Hey, I'm even having a call with Chicago. Why not? Why not? I'm having a call with all these guys. I'm calling the Texans, anyone in front of us, the Colts. I am making a call to all these guys. Primos, it's only a matter of time, bro. It's only a matter of time. Rich, I don't think we trade for Mac Jones at all. I don't think that New England is ready to give it all to Bailey Zappi yet. I think they're going to run it back with Mac Jones, with the real offensive coordinator over there from his alma mater from Alabama. I think they're going to run it back and see what they have with Mac Jones this year. If he shits the bed this year, though, you guys, I would not be shocked to see Mac Jones on the trade, out there as trade bait next season with one more year left on his deal. I would not be shocked to see Mac Jones, if he shits the bed this year in New England, on a trade, out there, used as bait with the last year on his rookie deal. Renfro was a piece to use to trade up with Arizona. Well, I mean, shit, they just got rid of who they let. They let Chosen walk in free agency. And for those who don't know, Robbie Anderson, he changed his name to Chosen. This is a Ron Artest, kind of situation. But they let him walk. They still have Hollywood Brown. But I can definitely see, them maybe potentially looking at a Renfro in Arizona. That we could definitely use him as something. But it's going to be draft capital more than anything, Lux. I think Arizona is kind of in a mini rebuild themselves. J.J. Watt's moving on. D-Hop is moving on. They're getting rid of these veterans. They doubled down with Kyler Murray. He's going to be out at the beginning of the season, so they're probably going to end up losing a few games at the beginning of the season. I think they're trying to go as young as possible. Renfro is still young, though, so he does fit that timeline. But they have Rondale Moore over there, a guy that I really liked a lot that they drafted out of Purdue a few years ago. But Arizona is definitely a team to keep a lookout on, and Renfro can definitely be used as a piece. And the Jets just released a guy that we could potentially look at bringing in as well as a special teams guy and a potential replacement for Renfro if we do decide on moving on from Hunter Renfro. And he'd be a lot cheaper. And I think I'm going to do a quick video on that here soon. I'll probably upload it today. So stay tuned for that. But there's so much going on in the NFL right now. Yes, EJ Barrios. Yep, facts. That's a guy that we could potentially look at, a very, very inexpensive option to bring in the slot. And he's a great special teams guy, return kicks. That would be a guy that would be way more inexpensive than Hunter Renfro, and you would get a lot out of him. Yep, Braxton Berrios. Facts. Talk that shit. Shout out to my boy Kane Town in the building. Do you think re-signing Abdullah was a good? Yeah, Rick, I definitely do. Definitely do. I think it was a great pickup. He's still very elusive, still very explosive at his age. I think, what is he, 30 years old, 31, somewhere around there. I like Abdullah. He looked really good for us last season. He can still play in special teams. I like Abdullah. Bring him back on a one-year deal. Great. As long as you move on from Brandon Bolden, though, Rick. You have to move on from him. If you re-sign Abdullah with Brandon Bolden with one more year on his contract, you got to get rid of him. You can't have those two old guys there in your running back room. You have to move on from Brandon Bolden, especially, when you finally have to give these young guys, some time to get out there and adjust to the speed of the game. I want to see, what our 7th rounder out of UCLA can do this season. I want to see what Sincere McCormick can do. You know what I mean? So get rid of Brandon Bolden, and I'm all for bringing in Amir Abdullah on that 1-year deal. Shout out to Hub Corrigan. The unknown of this regime and the draft is friggin' glorious. No one knows what's going to happen. It's a fresh start with all these possibilities. And I love it because I'm watching all these beat writers kind of just tripping all over their feet, trying to say that they have intel to this and intel to that and this and that. This regime has been proven that no one knows. The beat writers, the guys that even work inside the building have no clue what the fuck is going on. It is so funny watching everybody stumble and trying to create new narratives and all this other shit about what's going to happen and what's not going to happen. It's just so funny to watch everybody on Twitter be wrong. They have no clue, no idea what this regime is going to do. Shout out to my boy Corrigan, man. Let me see. Shout out to my dog Blazed, man. How you feel about waiting till next year for a quarterback? We can't afford to do that. Can't afford to do it, brother. I'm all for going to get Stiddy, bring him back in, and going to get a quarterback this year. You got to get one of the big 4. I'm not waiting until next year. I know a lot of people say that next year's draft class is better at the quarterback position. I'm not waiting at all. I need a rook this year, point blank, period. Shout out to my dog Blazed. Primos, real question, Docs. At 2-7, looking back at it and seeing the position we are in, would you rather them have lost those meaningless games? Thoughts? I don't even want to talk about this because people are going to kill me. People are going to kill me. People are going to kill me. They think, oh, you're a fake Raider fan because you wanted to tank and blah, blah, blah. Look, man. I remember watching the Philadelphia Sixers tank year in and year out, ended up with Embiid, ended up with Ben, which Ben is ass now, but they ended up with a lot of these guys that have that team at a very high level year in and year out. Now I know it's the NBA, it's not the same as the NFL, but I'm gonna say this, man. There really ain't any meaningless wins in the NFL, but I wouldn't be mad if we were a top 5 pick. We had a top 5 pick in this draft. Let's just say that, Primos. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm going to say. So I would rather have a top 5 pick in this draft. Could you imagine you guys having the number 3 pick this season and not having to worry about trading any draft capital to move up to get one of these guys? How much more of a breath of fresh air it would have been and not have to worry about that? So it is what it is. But, people call me a fake fan because I was tanking. I was all for the tank. At the end of the day, man, if this regime has a plan and they're running with it, it is what it is. Shout out to the Gaffler, my boy in the building. Yeah, I'll say it. We would have been at 2 instead of 7. Think about that. Then at that point, you got the choice. You got your choice of the litter, man. Crazy, man. At 2, if you're at 2, you pretty much can have any quarterback you want outside of somebody trading up with Chicago. Crazy, man. But hey, we're 6-11. We're at 7 now. We got to run with what we got. And I'm going to be real with you. There's too many veterans on this roster that would have sat down and just laid down. You know what I mean? Devontae ain't laying down for nobody. Max Crosby ain't laying down for nobody. Josh Jacobs definitely wasn't laying down for anybody last season. So at the end of the day, we are where we are, and we got to deal with we got to deal with where we are. Yeah, Ma. At 2, we wouldn't have had to worry about trading up, getting rid of any draft capital, anything like that. We would have already had Stroud at 2. See what I'm saying? Should we just take Carter at 7 and Hooker in a second? I love Stroud, but I'm really starting to warm up to the idea of Hooker. The thing is, we don't know what we have with Hendon Hooker at this point. You know what I'm saying? We really don't. I want to see. We're not going to see him in the combine. We're not going to see him doing any of that because he's coming off that torn ACL, I believe, MCL, one of those. I'm not against taking Carter at 7, but don't be shocked, TAA, if Hendon Hooker is a guy that's gone in the late first. Do not be shocked if a winning team, that wants a future quarterback, or I don't know. There may be a team that could potentially take him at the end of the first round. There definitely could be if they're sold on him. if they're sold on him. But in the perfect world, Carter in the first round, Hooker in the second, I'm not against that. I'm not against that at all. I just feel like this year we need a guy that's going to move the needle for us this season. Yeah, you can bring in Stidham. He'll probably end up playing half the season for you, but then you got to give the reins over to your young guy. And I don't know if Hendon Hooker is going to be available yet at that point. Let me see. Hooker requires a veteran to follow. Stroud don't. There you go. Facts, Corgan. That's real talk. You get Stroud. He's your guy this year. You go get CJ Stroud. He's your guy this year. You don't have to worry about bringing in the likes of Jimmy G for $20+ million a season. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But you're right, though. Shout out to Corgan, my dog, man. Let me see. Alex, man, shout out to you, bro. Have a great day, King. Wipe them feet, you guys. Hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button, man. There is so much going on in the NFL right now, you guys. It's insane. I've been going on Twitter. I'm seeing more and more players looking like they're going to be available. This is a crazy time of the year right now, man. Crazy time of the year. Dove tweeted out, the Rams have parted ways with Bobby Wagner and reportedly looking to move on from following players: Matthew Stafford, Jalen Ramsey, Allen Robinson, and Leonard Floyd. Does Sean McVay believe he can win long-term with Baker Mayfield? You have to look at that list of players, you guys, and wonder why Aaron Donald is not on that list. If they're going to start it all over, there is no way in hell Aaron Donald is going to sit around and play for a team that could potentially be 2-15 this season. Keep an eye on Aaron Donald. I'm not saying that we would be the ones to go get him, but keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him. There's going to be a lot more names being out there, thrown out there very, very soon because of their availability. A lot of guys are moving on from veterans. It's happening right now all across the NFL. A lot of these teams are moving on from these older guys with big contracts. It's insane. It is insane. Let me see. The whole NFL is restructuring due to QB contracts. Vets are getting ousted because of it. And I read somewhere also that Cleveland might be restructuring Deshaun Watson's deal where they're going to free up $30 million in cap space. That's crazy. Rich, we can, though. We definitely will, bro. You know what I mean? Look, let Bilal Nichols and Andre James walk. I believe that's like another $7-8 million. So you're roughly 46 million bucks. You restructure Chandler Jones, that frees you up to get over 50. Max Crosby, you can restructure. Colton Miller, restructure. You're damn near at 70. You know what I'm saying? So there is a way where we can get up there. And this is the season, you guys, to push some of these guys' money back in their contracts, because next year we have over $100 million in cap space, well over $100 million in cap space. So this would be the season to restructure a bunch of guys. I mean, don't put yourself in a hole, you know what I mean? But this is the season where you definitely can restructure a bunch of contracts because you're going to have the money available to you. And it's a good season. I think we have, what do we have? 28 free agents right now, you guys? I think it was 28. I think I read somewhere it was 28 free agents. And to be honest with you, I'm not really worried about any of them. Any of them, to be honest. I mean, a few of these guys I definitely want to bring back. You know what I mean? I would bring Deron Harmon back on a cheap 1-year deal. I would bring Andrew Billings in on a cheap 1-year deal. I would definitely bring back Jermaine Illuminor on a 1-2-year deal at right tackle. But there's not too many guys that I'm worried about. You know what I mean? So we're in a good space right now. Shout out to my boy Sniper, man. My brother, have you had? No, I have not. It is next week when we do our free agency extravaganza, man. So stay tuned for that. We're definitely running up a bag for St. Jude's Children's Hospital next week for our free agency frenzy show. We're going to be live for 5 to 10 hours. So stay tuned for that. Shout out to my boy Sniper. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, Primos we do. But most of them I don't really care about having back. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we're going to have a lot more holes to fill, but these guys are players that I'm not really too worried about. Austin, but that's a huge question mark. Stafford is 35. Father time is finally catching up to him. He was injured pretty much all last season, right? If he's healthy and he still wants to continue his career, I'd take a look. I mean, the Rams are asking for a 3rd round pick. That's the rumor, because they want to get rid of that deal. And I think he's owed $20 million this season. That's not a lot for Matthew Stafford. Shit, Big Mike, you better than me, bro. I'm not bringing Jayon Brown back for $1. I'm cool. No. Let me see. Another guy, Primos Rocket Sin, is definitely a guy that I would bring back. But it has to be. Oh, you want Mac Hollins as well? Yeah, definitely would bring back Mac Hollins, Raider Mike. Great special teams guy and a guy that preferably can be like your wide receiver 4. Definitely looking at him. But Rocket Sin, it has to be an inexpensive deal. You know what I mean? He was hurt last season. He didn't really show me enough on the field when he was out there healthy. Look, I'd bring him back, but it has to be an inexpensive deal, and he has to be like your true corner 2. Throw Averett off a cliff. Talk that shit, Robbie. I think Muti is still under his deal, though. Right, Clint? I think that's why we went and got him and put him on the practice squad, I believe, right? Didn't we put him on the practice squad? Muti is still on a deal, I believe, right? Let me look that up. I thought he was still under contract. I thought he was still under his deal. Let me see. Yeah, he's still on his rookie deal. I thought he's only played in the NFL for 3 years. I thought this was his 4th year in the NFL. This is his last year on his deal. Yeah, brother. This is his last year. He has 1 more year on his deal. He was drafted in 2020 to Denver. He has 1 more year left on his deal. Yeah, he's a dog, Chaos. Facts, bro. I agree. Let me look. Because right here it says he has 1 more year on his deal. Let me see. Let me see. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. Let me see. Yeah, 2023. He has 1 more year on his deal at $1 million. He has 1 more year on his deal at $1 million. That is a steal. That is a guy that I really have high hopes for on our O-line this season. Shout out to Black Angried Out, my dog in the building. Let me see. Shout out to Ace. Are you sold on AR-15 or Levis in the first? Both strike me as late round QBs. I'm going to say this. You guys know I like Levis. You know what I'm saying? I think he has a particular skill set that's going to work at the NFL level. I love that he has that arm strength. You know what I mean? I love that he's mobile and can move around. AR-15, the same thing. But, you know, AR-15 is such a small sample size for him at the collegiate level. I just don't know how that's going to translate at the next level. You know what I mean? But the thing is this, and I know everybody kills me. I don't know why Graphk believes in Josh McDaniels so much. All I'm going to say is this. I think we have the right guy at head coach to draft a quarterback. You know what I mean? So, look, whoever we take, I'm going to have high hopes for, because I do believe that Josh McDaniels is going to bring the best out of him. So whether that's AR-15, Levis, Bryce, CJ, I don't care. I think that Josh is gonna have him balling. Let me see. Restricted free agent. There you go, Clint. Okay. So 1 year, last year, he had 1 more year on his deal, though, right? It's restricted. We'll bring him back. Muti will be back. He'll be back. But over the cap right here states that he has 1 more year left on his deal, 2023, $1 million. Literally says $1,010,000. Signing bonus $51,448. At age 24 in 2023, he has $1 million left on his contract. Let me see. Yes, I'll definitely be doing a live stream Monday morning. Yes, definitely covering everything. We're going to do a long live on Monday, you guys. I think after today, oh no, you know what? We're doing the DBs free agency with Shield more tomorrow, and then we're doing offensive line Sunday. Yes, I'll still be live Monday. We'll definitely be doing a live stream during the tampering period because we know now with the tampering period, you start seeing where people are going left and right. You know what I'm saying? So tampering period is like the new day one in free agency. D, that's a sneaky name to look at, Shaquille Griffin. For those who don't know, the Jaguars just cut the corner, saving them a bunch of money. That is definitely a name that I'll be looking at in free agency. That is definitely a sneaky name at the cornerback spot with Shaquille Griffin. Love his work. Let me see. Barrio, that's a good question. I haven't heard that one yet. Do you think anyone's going to take the number 4 jersey? I hope so. I hope so. Nightmare, I already have my candy, my popcorn, my pen, everything ready to go. I will be watching my Kings beat the shit out the Knicks tonight on national television at the Golden One Center. Light the beam, Raider Nightmare. Light the beam. Clint, I wouldn't be mad at that. Veteran linebacker Eric Kendricks. Love it. Love it. Would definitely take a look at Eric Kendricks. Definitely. We need all the linebacker help we can get. Yes, K-Town, I will be live. Look, as long as your Wi-Fi is straight, bro, I will send you the StreamYard link. As long as your Wi-Fi, I'm not going to have you walking around in a grocery store, a fucking bag of bananas in one hand, and you going in and out on the other, bro. If your Wi-Fi is set up, I will definitely be sending the StreamYard link, but I can't have you with pistachios in one hand, a fucking Cocoa Krispies in one hand, and you know what I mean? You over there doing the Minecraft games, you know what I mean, with the Wi-Fi. So if your Wi-Fi is correct, sir, I will be sending you over the StreamYard link. I know Big Mike's going to be on with me as well. I'm going to get our brother B on. B will be on here talking Raider football with us when free agency opens up on Monday, the tampering period. So stay tuned for that. Yes, fill up. Today's Thursday, tomorrow. Stay tuned for that, my brother. Shout out to my boy Philip Vargas, man. Always showing love to the channel. You dirty mother. I don't know, Kane Town. Your ass is always in and out. He was always in and out, bro. He was always in and out, man. Yeah, man. Kane Town is the worst Wi-Fi in the nation. Think about it. Let me see. Wipe them feet, y'all. Shout out to Raider Nation. Wipe them feet, man. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. Shout out to Shady Raider, man. Henry Tutu is my favorite pick for us. Where do you have us drafting him at? I'm not against the linebacker out of Alabama. Like his work, but to me, he's a mid-round guy. If he's there in the 3rd round, I don't have a problem taking a flyer on him. But in the first 2 rounds, nope. Shout out to Shady. He said, we sparring in person. Wayne, I would not be upset. I mean, look, I don't think anyone could be upset with having a talent like Lamar Jackson. We just have to know the plan. What is the plan? You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, you're paying all your money in free agency, basically directing all that towards one player. So one player. And at that point, you got to hope and pray that you hit on every spot in the draft on the defensive side of the ball. So, you know, it's tricky, man. It's tricky, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to have Lamar Jackson, but from what it's going to cost and handcuffing us in free agency, it's just a no for me, bro. It is. Man, for a third, man, look. Yeah, Ma, we can't trout this same defense out with Lamar and expect better results. Talk that shit. I still think we'd be a better team with Lamar Jackson, but I definitely agree with you. We got to build up that defense. I don't want this fan base, us as a whole, to have the same excuses every year. This defense, woo, woo, woo. This year, build it up. Let me see. I agree. If anybody can do it, it can be Z, Wayne. Yeah, Clint, this is facts. Oh, guaranteed. Guaranteed. If you bring in Lamar Jackson, one of those big deals on the offensive side of the ball is out of here. And it's not Waller, because this regime is in love with Darren Waller. So it's Hunter Renfrow. He's the odd man out. And I'm not against that. Love Renfrow. Love Third and Renfrow. But, D Brown, facts. Lamar will put asses in seats. Factory. Shady, stupid. Would you rather have one bad bitch or a bunch of fives? Sign Lamar. Stupid, bro. Shout out to, yes, Abdullah. For those who don't know, we did re-sign the veteran running back to a 1-year deal. So he will be back next season. Let me see. I don't know. I'll say this. I just want a top 20 defense at this point. Let us go out there and field a top 20 defense, a serviceable defense that can go out there and make some big plays for us when we need it the most. When the offense needs the ball back, the defense can go out there and make a play. At this point, I want a top 20 defense. In a perfect world, top 15 all day, every day. But look, give me a top 20 defense, because it's been forever since we've even had that. The dude wants a fully guaranteed deal. That's a big no for me. Yeah, man. Cleveland definitely fucked up the game in terms of the market for quarterbacks with Deshaun Watson's deal, man. That fully guaranteed deal, I believe, didn't they come in at like the last minute and steal him from Atlanta? That deal, they got desperate and gave him a fully guaranteed deal, knowing he was dealing with all the shit he was dealing with, the pulling tugs and shit. I don't know the specifics of it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they fucked the game up. Shout out to Michael, man. Would you have given up a 7th for Chuck Clark? If it was a 5th, man, we all be drunk, Mike. Look, there was rumors last year about us potentially being, a team that Chuck Clark, for those who don't know, the safety from the Baltimore Ravens, could have been a Raider. But for a 7th, that is inexpensive. The Jets went out and got him. Gave up a 7th for him. For a 7th, I mean, Chuck Clark is to me, an average player. Why not just bring back Duron Harmon? You know what I mean? Like, why not bet on our UDFA out of USC last year? You know what I mean? This season. Look, a 7th for Chuck Clark. It sounds good, but I'm cool. I don't think Chuck Clark was a must-need for us. Stupid, bro. I hear you, King. I hear you, bro. Facts. God bless David. I don't know how to say his name. Mulligetta, Deshaun's agent. You should try to get him on, Doc. That'd be dope. I know Paul's about to come on. Paul got a lot to say. We're definitely going to bring back our brother Paul. You know, with the Titans over there, man, just going all full rebuild. It looks like Ryan Tannehill's about to be out of there. They're trying to trade Derrick Henry. We're bringing on Paul, man. We got to talk to him about, where this leaves, his client, Jeffrey Simmons, and where it leaves them. Because, look, the Titans, they're taking a definite huge step back this season in the AFC. More, man. We were supposed to keep that shit between me and you, bro. You know what? Hold on. I'm doing this shit for Maul, man. Doing it for Maul, man. Oh, well. Can't do it now. Well, I guess my wife used all the mayonnaise on the tuna today, so I was gonna dip a little mayonnaise in my coffee, man. But I guess my wife used it all in the tuna today. So thank God for me, right? Whew, shit. Thank God I ain't had to drink that shit. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. Am I that predictable? Oh, definitely went to go get that shit. Shout out to Big Mike. He said, I will unsub today. I'm going to start the Will Levis challenge today. I'm putting some mayonnaise in my coffee. I'm uploading a short. I'm going to see who is man enough to try the Will Levis special. Let me see. Please no, bro. Watson was our guy inside that scandal. That's facts, Clint. Factory. Wayne, hey, man, it's time, bro. Let's go viral today, y'all. Let's go viral today. Let's go viral, man. It's time, bro. It's time, man. Derek, you said Levis needs to be incarcerated for that. Yo, Beck. Hey, yo, bro. Yo. 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 My man's out here woke up horny as hell early in the morning, man. Big Mike, you stupid, bro. But yeah, man. Let me see. Shout out to David. Dax, did you see Falone's tweet the other day? It looked like he might be recovered from injury. It looks like he's getting there. I've been watching all of his videos. Stay in tune with Darius Falone, watching what he got going on. But still, he has his Raider hoodie on, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, this regime has no ties to him. I don't think that we bring him back. But shout out to him for still fighting to get back into the NFL after having those surgeries, man. Let me see. Yeah, Clint, I agree, bro. I agree. But we're coming up on an hour, man. Got to go pick up my kids from school. Just wanted to talk about this Lamar Jackson situation with you guys. It's way too much going on with that situation to make it happen for us. I'm still all in on going to get a young guy. I'd rather spend those two first, going to get Stroud on a rookie deal, moving up, and just bring it back steady on another year deal. But keep an eye on the Rams, you guys. Keep an eye on the Rams. Allen Robinson, wide receiver, looks like he's about to be cut. Leonard Floyd, linebacker, looks like he's about to be moving on here shortly. Jalen Ramsey, a guy that we've all known and loved forever, he may be on his way out. Matthew Stafford, the words were used, the Rams would love, not like love, to part ways with Matthew Stafford, the 35-year-old quarterback coming off of a down season where he was hurt, but he also won the Super Bowl the previous year. And I believe it would cost about $20 million next season for his contract. And another guy I keep saying, man, keep an eye on Aaron Donald. If all these guys move on from the Rams, there is no way in hell Aaron Donald says, I'm going to stick around and play for a team that may potentially only win 2 or 3 games. And they may even bring back Baker Mayfield. It sounds as though Sean McVay loves what Baker Mayfield brings to the table, so they may bring him back. I don't see Aaron Donald being cool with anything they got going on over there. But yeah, man, we will be live again tomorrow with our brother Sanjit T. I don't know what time yet. If we have to do a show with him during the day, we will be doing our DB show at night, the Shieldmore show at night. So we may be doing a double header tomorrow, you guys. So stay tuned for that. And I will also be uploading maybe 1 or 2 quick hits as well today. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys as always, man. Make sure you guys wipe them feet on the way out and hit that subscribe button, man. I'm outro. 1.